Welcome back live to Brownsea Island, where the temperature has plummeted to such an extent that camera operator Mark has pupated. He has pupated, look at him. But Mark, in his hands there, he has a very noisy but a very effective thermal camera, and we're going to use that to try and find some more birds. What have we got? Oh, an avocet. An avocet. Brilliant. Good find, Mark. There it is, just wading through the water, swishing its beak through there. It's only the one, but they do see a lot of avocets here in the lagoon. Look at that. Whole host of them walking through, swishing their beaks back and forth. And those at the back will benefit from the ones at the front because they're kicking up the mud, feeding on aquatic invertebrates. And a group of avocets is actually known as a stand of avocets. There's a standoff of avocets there. Brilliant, aren't they? Fantastic birds. And even at night, from that distance, you can tell that they're avocets. But to really appreciate them, you've got to see them in the daylight. They're only black and white birds, but they are beautiful black and white birds. Those long blue legs. Now, when I was a kid, they were rare birds. Now there's about 1,500 breeding pairs, because here they gather in winter, and the maximum numbers they've had here, 1,360 out of a UK population of 8,700. So at one time, 1 in every 6 avocet in the country was here in this lagoon. Isn't that amazing? That's how important this lagoon is. But it's not just avocets. Can we find anything else out there, Mark? Any other wading birds? Earlier on, I know we had oyster catchers, we had bar-tailed godwits, black-tailed godwits, but by far the most numerous wader they have here is the dunlin. It's a small wader. They gather in these huge flocks, like a murmuration of starling almost, coming in to feed in the lagoon. And again, it's a wader that's actually declined in the UK. Wintering numbers have declined by 45% since 1996, and they get an average of about 1 to 2,000 here every winter. Maximum numbers was about 4,700 in 1998, so it just goes to show how much they have declined. Lovely little birds though, with those bent down beaks probing in the mud there. Fantastic little birds. It just goes to show, does it, just how rich this lagoon is. It's a brilliant place, and Brownsea as a whole is fantastic for all kinds of wildlife. It's one of those places that definitely punches above its weight. And Chris and Michaela, well, Chris in particular, this is on your doorstep. This must be your local patch here.
It is part of my local patch. I've been down a couple of times recently, out on the boat into Poole Harbour. Birds of Poole Harbour run that. I can't recommend it highly enough. It's absolutely outstanding. Spoonbills, avocet, and of course, a new jewel in the crown, the white-tailed eagles, which have been reintroduced here. Bred in Sussex for the first time last year, and if we're very lucky, we think there could be 3 pairs breeding this spring. We've been fortunate enough to see them here since we've been. Single birds flying around. We've got a pair that have settled here, and they're both satellite tagged. You can see the tag on the back of this bird, but we have seen the pair together, which is a good sign, of course, because they start to breed early in the year. So the fact that they are still together is absolutely sensational. What a bird. Very, very exciting. In fact, just yesterday, we were all mooching around in the canteen, knocking up a vegan hot chocolate or something like that, when there was a bit of a kerfuffle outside, and we all dashed out to see what it was. Look at this, there in the sky. The white-tailed eagle, right overhead. I went dashing off to tell Iolo, because of course he's seen lots of these white-tailed eagles in Scotland, but he hadn't seen any in Dorset, and he said that he wanted to. He caught a glimpse of that one, but very fortunately, a bit later in the afternoon, that bird, we think, had settled quite close to where we're filming now, actually, and he was able to get a much better view. Look at that, white tail, adult plumage. What a bird, honestly.
The whole crew got excited.
Oh, everyone was excited.
Everyone was out looking at it. I was by the monitor as they were filming it. I mean, they are just such extraordinarily enormous birds.
Yeah, we met some people this week and they said we thought we might have seen a white-tailed eagle, but it could have been a buzzard. Well, they're a bit different in size. Take a look at this. This model here has been built by Derek Way and John Flatt from the RSPB. And
Should we lift it up?
Let's lift it up. Yeah, look at that. Because you get a real sense of the size of these birds. You know, a wingspan of more than 2 metres, known, as we've said before, as a flying barn door. And when you think about it, a buzzard would fit in the space of just one wing here. So if you think you've seen a buzzard, you've seen a buzzard, because there is no mistaking one of these when it's in the air. Very heavy, laboured flight, and they are colossal,